alongside
Polo. What's happening?
Things are going good, man. Yo, back to Daddyman Radio, the show where we meet with fathers and discuss those pivotal and decisive moments in the fatherhood experience. We're going to deal with 4 challenges and 4 triumphs. And today we got Coach JJ in the house. Coach JJ. Salute. A little applause, buddy.
Welcome, brother.
Welcome. Thanks for having me.
All right, so JJ, man, why don't you give us a little background on your fatherhood experience as a son, as being a father, and then we'll jump into the 4 joints, all right?
All right, background, let's see.
Yes, that deep voice, don't
son of a preacher man, I guess. PK, shout out.
Salute. All 3 of us.
All 3, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Let's
PK's
see.
in the house. Chin.
Let me move forward. Got my got 4 kids, 2 girls, 2 boys. I had my first child when I was 20 years old, heading straight into the Navy.
Oops.
Yeah. yeah. But I mean, I love, that's my girl.
I say.
Let's see, just having kids. Wasn't thinking really. We family, so started the sexual life kind of early.
Okay.
Doing it, 13, 14, 15, 16, and too late where, Uncle Phil tried to have, well, everybody don't know Uncle Phil, but not on Fresh Prince, but I have an Uncle Phil.
Right.
And I remember one day he just tried to talk to me about the birds and the bees, but it was really too late because by then I was already I was already having sex because what I heard from my friends, on the streets.
Right.
And that's the worst way to learn about sex is from your friends and your homeboys on the street. But for the most part, grew up in the church, and to say I grew up in a house with 2 females. And my dad died when I was 9 years old in a house fire. So basically, a lot of things that I learned to be as a man was just either watching or listening or just trial and error. Because my father wasn't there, not because he wasn't in my life because he died. But I had role models to try to look up to. I had uncles and I had my best friend's dad to try to come in. But still, at the same time, it's nothing like having that constant male presence within the house that you can see and follow and try to emulate. So pretty much, like I said, not to ramble on, it's I got a young lady pregnant at 20 years old.
All right.
The night before I left to go to boot camp, I wasn't gonna go because I quote unquote thought I was in love. But then when she told me that she was pregnant, I said, "Whoa,
I gotta go."
Yeah, I gotta go. The baby can't eat books, baby can't eat air.
Gotcha.
So, I went ahead and went into the Navy, did that, and then came back. Still really didn't learn my lesson, and 3 years later, had a boy. And that situation is a tricky one. Then I'm pretty sure we probably get into that later.
Yes, sir.
And then age 27, I get married at a young age. Whoo, fellas. Know when you're ready to get married. Public service announcement. I'm gonna just go ahead and not to get off. Just know when you're ready to get married. But she came in with a child, and I came in with 2, and then we made a boy. So that's how I have 4 kids right there. Long story short,
so you already blending the family.
Yes.
And in actuality, you came from pretty much a blended family as well.
Yeah, okay, I know what you're getting at. Yes, I did, because my mom couldn't have kids, so I have an older sister. We were both adopted. I was adopted at 2, and she was adopted. I just found out she was adopted at 18 months. And so pretty much I came from, like Seiko said, I came from a blended family where both of my sister and I, we weren't from a biological, core family or a biological family. So, and they already had an idea of what a blended family would be, but nobody treated us any differently. It's just something that it just happened. God placed us in a better place.
Let me ask you a question, man.
Yes, sir.
You mentioned you were a PK. Has the black church failed the black family?
Leave it to Polo, man.
The black family failed the black church.
You know what? I was waiting for you to ask me a question. I actually saw an interview what you did with Paul Brinson, and I was like, I know this guy's gonna ask me. No, you know what?
Hit the bomb button. Hit the bomb button. Just drop the bomb, right?
No, I don't think the black church, or you can't just say the black church. The church, in essence, has not failed because there are services and there are resources out there, but us as people, we choose not to accept the help, and as far as the black family, or quote unquote saying fail the church, no, because like anything, you get in what you put out. If you go to church and you just sit there and you're a pew flower and you're not into the service, you're not listening, you just go in there because that's what you do on Sunday, and then you go and get Golden Corral or K&W after. You just going to church, so you're not getting anything. But if you go in there and you're an active member, you try to initiate programs, initiate different things within the church, then of course you're going to get something out of it. So like you said, to answer your question, no, it hasn't failed. I think we probably failed ourselves because we haven't taken advantage of what's out there.
Indeed.
Okay. Yeah, once again, leave it to Polo. Yo, we're talking about 4 difficulties and 4 victories, and just based on what you were discussing, we're looking at the challenges of maybe not being in the home with your daughter,
my daughter, and my son,
and your son.
Yes.
All right. Trying to connect with your son.
Yes.
Was that a challenge?
No, it still is a challenge. I'm gonna be real with y'all. Let's see.
All right.
When I first had my daughter, I was gung-ho about being a father, because that was my first, and I thought I was supposed to be a man. Then I'm taking care of my daughter, I'm gonna do it. When I got the second girl pregnant, it was a oops baby, and I'm gonna see how much I'm gonna try to reveal. And through that process, where she told me that she didn't want to have the kid, and I took the necessary actions or whatever to give her that option to go through it, and then to come to find out later on from one of your friends that she did not take that course of action, it kind of put me in a bad place. And I told her I was not ready to be a father again, only because I have this one child that I'm madly in love with, and then I was in the Navy. I was a E2 at the time, so you're not getting much money. So I put it in my mind that, and it was the wrong choice, that I was not going to be the best of father to that child at the time. Excuse me. And so years gone by, in and out of his life or whatever, and I still had to pay that child support. So she was still, but financially I was there, but spiritually and mentally I have not been there. And the thing is, about a couple years ago, I'm 34 now, I took the steps to try to get back into his life. And it's hard because I haven't really been there. And like Seiko said in the beginning, people call me Coach J. So I'm out here mentoring everybody else's sons and daughters and trying to do better in my life. And here I have this one child that I have not been a great father to. And I have another daughter. I have my oldest daughter who I'm being a good father to. And so, especially the sad thing, it is a young black male, who was growing up, and he could be one of those kids that can turn around and rob somebody, and it doesn't have to be that way because I grew up in a sound family, even though my dad was not there, but Seiko knows we family, I'm not from the hood, I'm not a thug, I don't claim to be one. I don't claim to be one, so it's just one of those things. I know right from wrong, but I still chose to do wrong, and it's not an excuse. So like I said, the hard thing about it is that trying to get back into his life and trying to connect with him and learn him as a human being, and then assimilating him with my other kids.
That's got to be hard. That's another challenge.
That's a real big challenge, because I tried that one time and it just didn't work out, because I have these 3 over here that they know each other. They're growing up together. They playing. They have their set ways, and then he's over here. So when he comes into the picture, he has his own personality, and he's an 11-year-old boy, and he has a 14-year-old sister and a 13-year-old sister, and then he has a 5-year-old little brother. It's a difference. And as far as between him and his brother, there's not a gender gap, but an age gap. And then with his sisters, they're teenagers. They don't want to have nothing to do with 11-year-old. So it's been hard.
Got you. Now, you mentioned that you had to deal with child support.
Oh, shoot. Had to.
What'd you call it?
Slavery.
Well,
all right. Well, then, if child support is slavery, he's an overseer.
I knew your voice sounded familiar. ECSC.
Pay up, punk.
We gonna talk.
Yeah, he's a pimp. He's a pimp for the system. All right.
Hey, look. I don't know if I said it. I think I said it on the show before, man. I think child support should be based upon the type of individual that you're dealing with. It's some dudes, yeah, you got to get that money from them. But
we having this conversation now. Go ahead.
No, you know what?
I think it's some dude that instead of taking that money from him, you can say, hey, look, buy X amount of diapers, X amount of gallons of milk, X amount of bread, X amount of ham, X amount of socks. This is what the baby need for the month.
Okay, let me answer that question.
All right, answer it and also bring in your experience.
I'm gonna do that, and because I come from both sides of the field.
He's an agent.
Before I started working there, I was placed into child support by both my my kids' mothers and
Dope.
What? Oh yeah. And my oldest daughter, I was very my oldest child. I was very upset about that, only because she didn't give me the opportunity to actually do what I know what I was going to do. And so right there, it was just her of having the mindset of this is the only way that I can still have control over him, because one, we're not together, we're not going to get back together, he doesn't want to be with me, I don't want to be with her, but to have some type of power over him, I'm going to do that. So that hurt me deeply, because it was like I always said, there was no need for it. My son's mother, I understand, I wasn't in his life, and I wasn't trying to be in his life. Whoa. So yeah, and so I had to swallow that bullet and understand that, well, you know, if I'm not going to be there physically and mentally, that child still needs support. So I had to swallow that bullet and take that action. But with her case, and within the Commonwealth of Virginia, is when a custodial parent, I'm just not going to say mother or father, but custodial parent can be a male and a female. When a custodial parent signs up for TANF or any type of state assistance, a case automatically opens. So that doesn't justify you as being a bad father or a bad mother because somebody opens a case. It's just that they sought out outside services.
You said they suck. All right.
Yeah. Sorry. They sought out outside services to help supplement the child. Now, coming from the agent standpoint,
told you he was an agent.
you have to look at it like this. What put you in a situation when you was in the moment and having sex for, I like to say, for the best 2 minutes of your life?
All right, that relates to him.
No, but when you're in the moment, you're not thinking about what's going to happen next,
right?
Because you're in that moment and you're having sex and you're enjoying each other. But then you don't think about what happens after that moment has passed, where you have the kid.
Okay.
And we don't solicit the service. We don't put out ads, come pay child support. We don't do that. You don't see commercials. Okay. You don't see anything. Okay. We're a government agency. And so when a custodial parent comes and fills out an application,
okay,
you know, and I'm agreeing. We are trying to work throughout as far as find other avenues before we put a non-custodial parent on child support. But at the same time, when a custodial parent comes and fill out an application, we have to open up a case. Yeah. And then it goes by combined income. And it sucks to the matter where we have parents such as myself, fathers or whatever, and mothers that want to do the right thing.
Okay.
And then when they're put into the system of child support, it almost gives them a mentality like, forget it, you don't want to be there. And I understand that, because that's how I was when it came to my oldest child. It was like, you're going to do this? Then what's the point? But at the same time, if you're out there making baby number 1, baby number 2, baby number 3, baby number 4, number 5, and you're mad at us taking money from you, you didn't think about when you had baby number 1 and 2.
Well, let's stop. Let's even address that point. At baby number 4, how much money is going to? Let's be real. It's going to each child. $27 out of his check.
But it's you're right. It's a combined income thing, and you're right. When the money is paid, it's divided amongst all the cases that you have. But again, we look at it this way: we don't solicit service.
True.
And so as much as you hate, as we hate being within the system, that child still has to eat. And $27, you're right. It doesn't. What does it go to? Who can feed? You can't feed yourself a day on $27.
But you know what? I want to say this. When you have if you're in a married family and you have a child, you still have that same income. And you got to split it amongst the three. Boom, you have another child. So you have 4 in the family. You still have that same income. You got to split it amongst the 4. 5, 6, 7. You got to split it amongst.
But then you got a shorty next to you that's also taking her money. And
my point is, the income doesn't necessarily raise, but you still have to divide it amongst the parties who have to eat. So if you got 4 kids and they get $27, or if you got 1 child and I guess that's 27 times 4, whatever. I'm bad at math. If they get that amount, it's still the same. You're still taking the resources, but you know what? Let's talk about your.
See, that's another show. I can get in on 2 hours on that, and you probably have everybody calling in on the show asking questions. That's another show. Book me later.
We'll do that. We'll do a call in, and we'll chop that up.
And I'm gonna wrap that up. Whereas,
keep it wrapped.
Trust me. Whereas it hurts because now I have this family that I have and I'm taking care of them, but at the same time when I get paid, I have income going out. So it's outcome already automatically going out. So you have to understand that you may have your family here and you hear all the time how I'm gonna eat, how I'm gonna live, but at the same time you got these kids over here that have to justify, and it has hurt me where I had to make some other decisions so I can make sure my family and I can survive because I had these 2 other children that I have to take care of. And so my mistake, I'm not gonna say mistakes, my decisions that I made in my past are still affecting me today as I grow up and continue to be a man. So the best thing I can tell you is, like I say, Coach, you just gotta wrap it up, you know, and do what you can to make sure that you're able to support your kids the best way you can.
All right, man. Well, keep doing that. You mentioned, and when we talked about the 4 victories that you had, that watching your children grow was a victory. Your son using you as an example of why education is important.
Yes.
Being able to influence your daughters from a male perspective, give them the game. Give them the game.
Oh, yes.
And your youngest daughter still calls you daddy. That's an important thing to you?
Yes. Oh, okay. That's like it's a very important thing to me because my youngest daughter, and I don't use the word stepchild because she's mine. I didn't make her, but I'm the only father that she's known since she was 2 years old. And the relationship we have, damn, I'm about to tear up now. Hold on, for real.
That's real, man. You keeping it real. You keeping it fatherly real. That's what's up.
The relationship that we had, it grew. You know, where when I first met her, she called me Jay, and then when she got older, it was Daddy J because she'll call me Daddy J, but then she'll go back to J. But when she wanted something, it was Daddy J. But it was cool because you had this child that, as shy as she is, what she was, and she still is shy, that trust is building in her. Like, I can depend on this guy. He's there for me. He loves me. And then for her to drop the J at the end and just call me daddy, even to this day, it's like, wow, because, I was adopted, and though I'm not able to adopt her because of the situation, she's mine. And, we go through our times where, she may not like me, and she's always going to be protective over her mother, but at the same time, that's still my child. She calls me daddy. I have 4 kids, and I don't use the word step. So for her to do that, to gain that trust, it really means a lot to me. Love you, China. But
all right, man. You also mentioned that another victory was you were able to give the game up to your daughters. You were able to tell your daughters things from a male perspective and guide them from a fatherly perspective, make sure they go farther. Hit on that, bro.
Yes, I don't sugarcoat anything with my girls. I let them know that their daddy was a straight dog player when
when he was a youngin, and that these teenagers, boys, they out here for one thing, and I tell them straight up, can't no boy or man do anything for you that your daddy can't do for you already. I tell them that. Especially my oldest daughter, she's about to be a freshman in high school, so I actually had to talk with her. Yes, I actually had to talk with her. Where is that you about to go into high school and you have these seniors who are experienced, and they're gonna try to say whatever they can to try to get inside your pants. I said, there's no such thing as having a brother in high school. You got brothers already that are biologically made.
The game on, all right?
Yes, I said, because all that means is they trying to be close to you so they can gain your trust to have sex with you. I said, 2, don't accept any money from no boy, because they gonna want something in return. I said, 3, you don't get ride homes. They don't take you nowhere. They don't pick you up, especially right now. If you need a ride, you call me, and whatever needs to be done.
Shut me down. If I'm out, that was all 3 of my little.
Hey, look, he's only talking to his daughters.
I'm talking to my daughters. Anybody else that's not talking to their daughters and allows their daughters to get caught up like that, that's their fault. But I don't sugarcoat it. I tell them the straight truth, and I use the words. I said, I'm not going to, since we're on the radio, I use the street slang words with them as far as what the body parts called or what they want for sexual favors. I say, you treat your body as a temple. And I tell them, it's like, I said, once you give up your virginity, it's like tape. The first time you use tape is the strongest, but when you take the tape off and you try to reuse it again, it gets weaker every time. And so
wow.
And so so I break it down because the last thing I want is for them to want you to get pregnant, 2, catch something they can't get rid of, or 3, be put in a situation where they can possibly be raped. And so I told them, you get one get out of jail pass free with me, where if you at a party and you drinking and you underage and you drunk, you call me. I'll come and get you. I won't yell at you, won't scream at you, drop you off, we go home. Second time, we're gonna talk.
Daddy going in.
Yeah, because we already talked about this before. So I keep it real with my daughters because, teenage boys, hormones running.
All right, well, man, we had an agent of the feds,
ABCs, DCSC.
Man, you sound hurt by that, man.
No, because I know a lot of brothers. I got family members that really work hard, 2, 3, 4, and 5 jobs, and are good fathers outside of the child support.
Okay.
Because the laws are taking so much out of their check, they have to work 3, 4, 5, 6 jobs just to take care of them.
Well, you know what? We're gonna bring back Coach JJ, J Daddy, Daddy J.
Indeed.
Doesn't that sound like a pimp name? Daddy J. Okay, all right. So we're gonna take you back, man. We got to bring you back and get you to give the game up from the agent perspective, working with the system. So maybe some fathers who are struggling with that can learn how to handle that better. So this is Daddyman Radio. We had Coach JJ on,
indeed,
and he dealt with 4 pivotal things in his life that were triumphs, 4 pivotal and decisive moments that were challenges to him, and he also gave up some games. So if you're one of those dudes dealing with the system, he works for the system, you might want to find somebody like him and get the game. All right, Daddyman Radio, we out of here. Peace.
Yeah.